The Lawrence, Kansas Police Department just messed with the wrong guy, and it's pretty epic.
I'm free to go, free to stay. I'm free to do whatever I want. I'm a free human being.
Okay. Pedestrians aren't allowed in the roadway, all right?
Don't start threatening bull tickets with me.
I'm not.
You know there's policies against that. Pedestrians are allowed in the roadway just like bikes are. Don't start doing that with me, man. You don't want to do that. You seem to think you have a lot of authority that you don't. Why are you going to start telling me about pedestrians not allowed in the roadway? Were you really going to try to write me a ticket for pedestrian in the roadway? I'm out here because there's guys like you that will play loose and fast with policy and start barking out commands and taking the authority a little further than it needs to go.
The threat occurred, but it was not a violation of policy.
The man didn't like me following him, videotaping him doing his job. It's a threat to violate civil rights under color of law, and you just admitted to it, dude. You just admitted to it in a public meeting. What is wrong with you? Guys, these guys are lying to you. I'm not playing this game with these people anymore. I've been told that I need to fear for my life because of you people. Are you coming after me? You gonna kill me? Come get it. I'm ready to die for this.
Sometime in June of 2022, the cops and the police chief from the Lawrence, Kansas Police Department messed with the wrong guy. That guy owns the channel called Lawrence Accountability. This story begins with Lawrence Accountability monitoring scanner traffic in Lawrence, Kansas. The dispatcher called this out as fireworks, but when Lawrence Accountability gets there, the cops claim that they're investigating shots fired. So every time you hear the cops say that, it's a lie. Now, they usually do this to add a fictitious element of fear so they can attempt to leverage their power, which, in their minds, gives them the justification to boss you around, i.e., violate your rights, for public safety purposes, of course. It has absolutely nothing to do with the cops' desire to manipulate and control people. Officer Floor Shoots will now engage with Lawrence Accountability, who is out there exercising his right to film cops in the course of their duties.
How's it going, man? Put your light out. What's up? Okay. I asked you to put your light out.
What was that?
I asked you to put your light down. I asked you to put your light down. I asked you to put your light down.
Sir, can you stop real quick? I just want to talk to you.
I don't want to talk.
I want to talk. Sir,
You want to put that light down?
you're shining your light at me too. Hey. Fireworks. Hey, sir. So we got called for, I'm guessing now it's fireworks, but gunshots in the area. I just saw you walking. I was just gonna talk to you, all right? Are you gonna talk to me, sir?
I don't want to talk to you. I said that.
Okay. All right. Do you have an ID on you or anything?
Why do I need to give you ID?
I just wanted to log you to the call.
You don't need to log me to any call.
Okay. All right. All right. You have a good day, sir. You're free to go.
I'm free to go, free to stay. I'm free to do whatever I want. I'm a free human being.
Okay. All right. You're free to go, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You can go.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
You're dismissed.
Sir, can I help you with something?
Did I ask for help?
No, you're just following us. I was just seeing if you need help.
I'm trying to figure out what you guys are doing.
We got a call for gunshots in the area.
Yeah, and they
I
just
heard-
came from that way over there, right?
Yeah.
So why are you
This
going
is
north?
where the original call was, so I was going to go and talk to the person who pulled it in.
Okay.
All right. There's something I can help you with?
No?
All right. So just go ahead and stay on the sidewalk, all right?
Sir, I'm a free person. I can walk where I'd like.
Okay. Well, pedestrians aren't allowed in the roadway, all right?
Don't start threatening bullshit tickets with me.
I'm not.
You know there's policies against that.
I'm not threatening anything, sir.
Pedestrians are allowed in the roadway just like bikes are. Don't start doing that with me, man. You don't want to do that.
All right.
I'm obviously on to something here.
What What do you say?
I said I'm obviously onto something here.
No.
You seem
no,
to think you have a lot of authority that you don't.
No. So the reason I wanted to talk to you is I saw you park your car over here and you started walking down this way.
Okay.
I didn't know what was going on. I heard the sound of gunshots. I just wanted to make contact with you to see who you were.
But when I asked you to put the flashlight down, you didn't want to do that. That's why this one's up now.
Okay.
Okay. That's why I started carrying this, because you guys don't put flashlights down when we ask you to.
Okay.
It's called prior restraint. You're not able to do that. Okay.
So I had the flashlight because it was dark and I wanted to see what your hands were doing. All right.
So I'm a threat?
Possibly. I don't know. Who
Everybody
you are.
out here you're another one. Everybody out here is a threat to you.
No.
You got a call for fireworks, and now you're worried about somebody that might beat you up.
They said it was possible gunshots.
Okay.
So I saw you walking down the alley, or walking down the sidewalk. I saw you park over here and walk this way.
Okay.
I just wanted to see who you were.
Okay.
All right.
So why are you going to start telling me about pedestrians not allowed in the roadway? What was the point of that?
What was the point of that?
Yeah. Were you really going to try to write me a ticket for pedestrian in the roadway?
Sir.
No, I'm asking you, were you really going to try to write me a ticket for pedestrian in the roadway?
I'm not right now.
Then why did you say that?
I just said it, sir.
Why? It's an authoritative bullshit thing to do to citizens.
All right.
And there's policies in your manual against it. You cannot threaten to write menial charges just because you don't like the way a citizen is acting toward you.
I understand that.
You know that, right?
Okay.
You're aware of that policy?
Aware of what policy?
The policy that says you can't start writing menial charges like pedestrian in a roadway. There is a policy in the LPD policy manual. Are you aware of it?
Aware of the policy?
That you can't start writing menial charges just to get at somebody. You realize that, right?
Sir.
So saying that pedestrian in the roadway was venturing off into that area where there's policy against. That's why I'm out here.
Okay.
I'm out here because there's guys like you that will play loose and fast with policy and start barking out commands and taking the authority a little further than it needs to go.
Okay.
What's your CAD number?
2102.
2102 floor shoots?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to be submitting a complaint about that pedestrian in the roadway thing because you do have a policy against that. And I would ask that you do not do that to citizens out here.
Okay. Sir, you were following us. I wanted you to stop following me, all right?
I'm a free person. I can be out here and actually I can follow you. I have the legal ability to follow you and observe you doing your job.
That is completely fine, but you weren't identifying yourself.
It doesn't matter. I don't need to identify myself. I haven't broken any laws. At the point that I break a law, I can identify myself and I'm free to stay at the same time as I'm free to go.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But I don't like cops starting to threaten menial charges, taking that authority a little too far. That's the whole reason I'm out here.
Okay.
Is because there's people that do that stuff.
It says threat of charges to gain compliance. It says exonerated. The complaint is that this activity was done in violation of a policy, and the conclusion is that there was no policy pertaining to the complaint that was found, not whether or not the complaint was accurate. So I'm wondering if during the investigation, whether or not you found that there were charges threatened against this individual in order to gain compliance, because it sounds like that was the complaint, but the complaint was worded in such a way that this was done in violation of policy. So I'm wondering whether or not the activity itself actually happened.
Whether the threat occurred?
Yes.
The threat occurred, but it was not a violation of policy.
Is that a common tactic in order to?
It is. Yes.
Let's be crystal clear about what Lawrence, Kansas Police Chief Rich Lockhart just admitted here. He just admitted that the threat to a man's unalienable freedoms occurred. Such a threat on American rights is not a violation of his department's policy, and this threat to civil liberties is a common tactic in his police department. In other words, the Lawrence Police Department routinely violates their oath to the Constitution by making it a common practice of threatening to take away people's freedoms. And there's nothing in their policy to prohibit such a tyrannical action.
The threat occurred, but it was not a violation of policy.
Is that a common tactic in order to?
It is. Yes. I mean, in this situation, the person was in the street and the officer asked him to get out of the street. Being in the street where a sidewalk is provided is a violation of the law. And in this case, the person refused to comply. The officer elected to use discretion and not make an arrest in that situation.
Without the details of what charges were being threatened in order to gain compliance of what compliance you were looking for, without a lot of detail, it's difficult to understand that.
Yeah. The idea here is to just give you a high level view.
Mhm.
If you would like more specific information, we can do that, but we can't do that in a public meeting.
Absolutely understood. Yes. Thank you.
This is Board Member Minor. I think that would be good because the information this additional information you provided would be helpful to understand the whole picture and what was going on there.
Right. So we can do that individually. If you want to get a hold of Major Cooper, if you need further information, we can do that. We just can't do that in a public meeting.
Mhm. I appreciate that. I appreciate you making the.
There was just so many lies here. I don't even know where to begin. Number one, OPA never contacts the complainant. I can't tell you how many complaints I've made. Caper, how many times did you contact me to consult me about a complaint? None. Chief, you exonerated Neff and made assumptions about what I knew at the time, but you never talked to me once. And that complaint that you were just discussing, we can discuss it as publicly as you want because I put the video on YouTube. The man didn't like me following him, videotaping him doing his job. So he decided to threaten a charge to get me to stop doing that. In other words, it's 42 USC 1983. It's a threat to violate civil rights under color of law. And you just admitted to it, dude. You just admitted to it in a public meeting. What is wrong with you? OPA has never contacted me once about a single complaint that I have submitted. Never. And those phone calls, they come from no caller ID, unknown number. That's how police call us. I'm not going to answer that call. So screw you guys and your lies. You guys just sit here and told them that you consult the complainants. When did you call me, Chief? Before you made that assumption. How about it, Casey? When did you call me before you let Daubert off the hook? Guys, these guys are lying to you. They're straight up freaking lying to you. And I'm going to come in here with a cart of documents next time. Because if I had all my stuff right here, right now, I could pull out the actual documents that show it. And you're going to be excited to see your own documents right next to your picture, Chief, when I put out the video. I'm not playing this game with these people anymore. I've been told that I need to fear for my life because of you people. Are you coming after me? You gonna kill me? Come get it. I'm ready to die for this. You got the wrong person, people. And if you're going to come in here lying, these people all just violated their oath to not only the department, the city, and the Constitution, but their oath as a civil human being to come in here and be honest. They won't talk about implicit bias. There's all these reasons why we can't measure that. You guys are full of shit, and you got the wrong guy. You got the wrong guy. You guys all underestimated me. All you people in with those badges underestimated me. You thought I was just some other jackass on the street that didn't understand things. I'm educated. I know things. I know how to do research. I'm investigating you. I've got my own mugshot book of every single one of you guys. And I'll add another one tonight since Miss Shipley came up here to the microphone. You know why I have that? So that when I talk to citizens about you guys, I can pull out the mugshots and ask them to show me which officer did it.
Michael, can you wrap up in about 30 seconds?
I'm done.
Okay.
They're lying to you guys. They're lying to you guys.
Public comment on this agenda item?
And I'll prove it. Watch the video.
Thank you, Michael.
Jeremy Roth-Gushel, Lawrence, Kansas. Pertaining to what the previous commenter said, it would make sense for the board to inquire if it were the case that this complaint was not actually followed through to the actual core of constitutional law, because you can have policy that you are allowed to threaten arrest if there's a crime, but we still have civil rights law, constitutional law. That's what the man was referring to, Section 1983, which came in post-Civil War, when police officers and other public officials were conspiring with the Ku Klux Klan. So they were working in a private capacity, the Ku Klux Klan, but they were conspiring with public officials. So you could have a situation where it might be not against policy to threaten arrest for an action, but the constitutional case law is that it's about similarly situated people. And it has to do with whether the threat of the arrest was made in order to intimidate against a constitutionally protected right, such as the right of the press. That's a fundamental personal right. It doesn't belong to corporate paid people. It belongs to every single individual, just like freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. So just what I heard just now, it makes sense for the board to further inquire about whether, even if a policy was not broken internally in the Lawrence Police Department, whether it was done in order to intimidate in relationship specifically to the use of camera, which is a very important thing that I think a good police officers of good faith would enjoy being filmed doing their duty because they make their police department proud. So I would like to see some further interrogation of that.
And if you don't, you're advocating.
Thank you, Jeremy.
That was
All
a
right.
straight up admission, guilt sheet,
Is there any other public comment?
and I will find it.
Now, this last guy, Jeremy, makes a good point. If a police department doesn't have a policy against threatening a man's freedoms, there's a serious constitutional problem here. What I disagree with Jeremy on is that there needs to be an investigation. Investigations are just attempts to unveil the truth. The truth has already been unveiled. It is the common practice of this police department to threaten people's rights and put them on the chopping block. And there's no policy against it. Investigation complete. I'll leave the link to Lawrence Accountability in the description. If you visit him, tell him Here's the Deal sent you. Support the work here on Here's the Deal by grabbing a shirt and becoming a channel member. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. Remember, freedom is dangerous. The only thing more dangerous is not having it. I'll see you in the next video.